tend to have worked with Kevin, just to get the most value and money out of it, because at the end of the day, we're here to add value and help others, but we all want to make money so that we can do this full time, so that we don't have to worry about the stresses in life. One thing that I would do for you, Peter, is just if you can schedule a lot of your follow-ups to end on February, or a lot of your closes to end after February, if you have any in the works, that would be great, because you would most likely be better off getting the 40% commission instead of, I think, 25 for outbounds right now.
Okay.
Because inbound starts on the 20th, which is we'll be going over in the meeting, but their commission is still going to be 20%. It's going to be 20% for them. And current people on inbound, such as like John Lee, Krish, you guys will have your normal commissions, but Ryan Seiko, for example, who will still be doing inbounds just to keep them on Calendly, they'll stay at that 10%. And then when February 1st hits, you'll get 40%.
Oh, I see. Okay, fair enough. So stick to February then. Okay, I see what that means.
Yeah, bro, you'll be good, because at the end of the day, it's a numbers game. The more people you can dial, the more booms you're going to get and your follow-up. What I've noticed is the best way to make money with Kevin's leads is to not, I honestly don't even follow a system in closing. I really should, but I more so just focus on having a conversation. Just talk to them. Get to know what's going on. Don't pressure them. And obviously, you're going to use your own tactics and whatnot to help persuade them and influence them in only good ways. But I've noticed that if you just come from that frame of not caring if you get the sale, you tend to get more money because they follow up with you. They reach back out to you because you didn't care about the lead.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's less work on your part with the follow-up if you just put in the work on each and every call to give it like you're 100%. That's what I've noticed works best. But I don't want to spend too much time on that. It seems for the most part that everyone's here except for two. So I'm going to send Kevin this link.
Hey, thanks so much for the Kaizen, man. It's been a game changer the last week.
Which Kaizen, bro?
The one with Jason Capital, where he has like 25-day training where he asks you to like block out your time and just really stay put on what you're doing.
I uploaded some stuff into that Trello, but yeah, in the Trello, you guys will notice like under the resources and stuff, I'm still filling it out. But yeah, there's that Jason Capital, the mastermind. I believe I gave you guys access. No, actually, I didn't upload that yet. Which Kaizen mastermind are you talking about, Peter? Because the file
it was the 25-day challenge.
That's the higher status.
The higher status. But I implemented. We had a conversation last month, you and I, and you mentioned about the Kaizen. I just wrapped that with
okay.
And kind of
cool.
Yeah,
that's going to be perfect then, dude. Because I'm going to be sharing this with you guys later. It's a massive file. It's the biggest file I have with Kevin, but it's all of his most recent Kaizen mastermind recordings covering copy, closing, and speaking. He covers like 1 hour videos up to like an hour and a half of him going into really super advanced stuff. So I'm going to get you guys access to it's around, I think, like almost 100 videos. So you guys will just be able to, for example, go through that. If you want to focus on closing, just watch all the ones on closing repeatedly, or copy, whatever. But there's going to be a lot of resources that are all directed towards helping you guys master the craft of influence and persuasion. Because at the end of the day, that's what closing is. It's not closing and sales, it's influence and persuasion. So I've been reading a lot of books and stuff. And if you guys can focus more so on those influential skills, that's how you're going to get more sales. But of course, you're still going to want to focus like on SLP and everything. But since you guys are here, you guys are ready for the advanced stuff, which is exactly what I want to be able to teach as I learn it myself, because I'm not at Dylan's level or at Joey's level, but I know that through accountability together in small groups and going through courses where it teaches you that high level stuff, we can mastermind together and at the end of the day, get the best results from that. But I sent the link to Kevin, everyone. I don't know when he'll be joining. He's always at a random. So.
Could I ask, what's your role now? Are you doing closing now too?
I do only closing. So my role is a little bit unique. I like to call myself, well, not call myself anything, but I operate as a like entrepreneur with Kevin. I'm the person who he brought into the business to help really grow from the standpoint of creating an environment like Team Live Rich. That's what he wanted. It's grown since then. So my biggest focus is I do a little bit of them. I do only the mastermind calls. That's it. I don't like taking any other calls. I don't mind, but my time and my focus is in the right place, and I'm going to keep it that way. By the end of this month, I will need another person to help me with mastermind calls because Kevin's switching up the process, which we'll talk about today. But my biggest role right now, guys, like with Kevin, because Live Rich it's going to be what it is. I basically just help train you guys on like Mondays and Fridays. I'm just going to call them discussions though, because I don't like the word training like you're sitting in a classroom. So we're just going to have these discussions, get to know each other, grow, build twice a week. And in these meetings, I sometimes will include like the CS team, which if you guys don't know, that's customer service for Kevin's internal team. He wants me to make sure I train them on chats and stuff like the 6-box method and whatnot. So things like that. And then also just some things on the back end of Kevin, like knowing the numbers of the ads team, of the sales team. So I'm basically the Joey Rich of Kevin David's. Well, not even Joey Rich. I'm just the head of sales for Kevin. That's really what I do. On the side, however, Peter, to answer your question, because I want to be fully transparent, like this is not my biggest focus, because my biggest focus is me growing myself in my personal life, getting the skills I need to give back to you guys, which is what I've been focused on for the past 12 months. And for the past 2 months, I've really narrowed my focus down to what I need to focus on to grow even more. And I've noticed that through doing that, the ROI through me kaizening myself and giving back to those who I help give results and whom I'm helping grow a business with, that gets them the most results. So I'm not going to be like a VA who you may see in Kevin's team sitting at a computer for like 80, 90 hours a week. But I'm definitely not taking a little bit of time to work with you guys. Like I've spent probably the past week and a half slaving on Trello every day. Because Trello is a bitch to build out, but it's so worth it once you guys get used to it. And I still want to grow Trello with you guys. But do you guys have any questions based on what I've said? Because I sent this thing to Kevin. He hasn't joined yet. But I believe I've heard some people kind of slip up as if they were going to ask a question really quick.
Are you going to go over Trello, or we're just kind of figuring this out as we go?
Oh, no, I know Trello like the back of my hand. It's more so I want everyone's opinion to be valid. Like this is a discussion. Like I said, if you guys have an idea on how Trello helped you in the past, I want to know that idea. I want to know, like, I just want everything to be open discussion basically at the end of the day, because that's what we're going to operate as, is just a team. Everyone's opinions of equal value. So I'm so pumped. I am too, dude. I'm really fired up to just manage a smaller team and grow myself as a leader with your guys' help, because I learned through failures. So are they the same outbound lead, or are they going to be new leads? It's going to be the same outbound lead, same system, dude. It's just going to be on spreadsheets. And trust me, spreadsheets is a lot harder than you may think it is. It's going to be easy. That process will be finalized by the end of the month, but you guys will be using VanillaSoft until February 1st, like exactly February 1st. But you guys will know a week, like 2 weeks before, exactly how to do everything. So you guys will be over prepared. Chris, did you have a question?
No, man. I'm okay with that, but if you can help me, like, yeah, I'm doing this Trello thing. It's a very fantastic thing. Also, if you can go over that, like how to use that in a proper way, I'll just give a brief introduction about this.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I plan to make more in-depth videos as Trello and this team grows. Kind of like, you guys know, the Ninja Closer program was, honestly, John Lee and Chris, you guys know, it's grown a lot from where it was. That's kind of the same thing I'm going to do with this team in Trello. So
yeah,
I don't know when Kevin's going to join. I should see him if he joins, but if he does and I don't notice, let me know, guys. So I already made a kind of a card on what we're going to go over, but this will be after we just have a discussion amongst one another. So Trello, what is Trello? So Trello, it's going to be your best friend. For me, it is a personal development tool, but it's also, for the most part, it's just, what's the terminology I'm looking for? It's, productivity and task management is what this application is. So to kind of give you a more in-depth explanation to what Trello is split up into two kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but two separate categories. You have your lists and then you have your cards. So a list is this at the top. It's basically what holds the cards. Let's put that back right there. So if you guys come to the back, you'll notice you can add another list. You shouldn't ever have to add one. It's kind of something that I do, but when you guys go to like your own cards, your Trello cards, this is your list. You guys can click on the individual card. And for example, this being the like daily calls tracker, you guys could just open up this card and see all the details of what it is, and you guys can create cards. So going into Trello on like a very basic level, I like to consider every single one of these little cards almost like a note card. Basically, it's a note card that can be digitalized into a very organized single place. So you may notice that, like for me, I've listed out, I've been playing with Trello for a while, but if you open up a card or you create a new one, you can add members being like yourself. So like if you have a card, for example, if John Lee has a card on him wanting to do something, he can simply just go ahead and create that card for himself. I did see that Kevin joined, so we'll make sure we go over this a little bit more in depth so you guys know everything. But I want to, oh, sweet, Anna Keela's here. So that's pretty much everyone. I think we're missing one person, Joanna, because she's on a call too. But yeah, Kevin, these are the guys who are going to be absolutely ripping it. And yeah, Marketer Magic is used. We'll answer that question in a little bit, Peter. But what's up, Kevin?
What's up, y'all? How are you?
I'm absolutely fired up. I'm sure every single one of these guys are too. Just to let you know, Kevin, Rome's working actually. He's at Subway right now. He's kind of like me at Subway, at Starbucks. He's literally like he's 18 years old too, I believe. So he's at Subway right now listening in. He won't be able to chat, but he's here. Aside from that,
I love that.
Everyone's here. Yeah, man.
Awesome. Cool. So I see Peter, Rome, John Lee, Krish, Keela. Is that everyone then?
So we're missing one other person. She's the female on Outbounds. Her name's Joanna. She's actually on a call right now. She'll be joining any minute. And then Rory, I think he's asleep because he wakes up at 4 a.m., which is like I think a couple of hours from now or an hour. So he'll be hopping on soon. But everyone who's here except for Joanna, they're here.
Sweet. Well, yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited. So it's been a long time overdue, kind of taking the phone team internal. You know, it was just easier at the beginning to kind of outsource it, but you know, we were making so many sales from the phone that, you know, it's basically time for me to take things a little bit more seriously. And just because of how complicated our overall ecosystem is with, you know, multiple different courses, high ticket, low ticket, mastermind, books, all these different offers, you know, all of which are incredibly valuable to people in their own respect. Just getting a full-time team that, you know, we intend to partner with long-term was just an obvious next step for us. And so, you know, it's awesome that we have some youngins joining. You know, doesn't matter how old you are, but it's just cool that, you know, Tyler was working at Subway like a year ago or whatever it was. And, you know, now he's running a multi-million-dollar phone team that's, you know, I'm sure going to close definitely over $1 million and potentially even multiple millions. So yeah, so I mean, I'm excited to have you guys join. If there's any questions that anybody has about anything, I'd love to answer them. You know, I like people speaking up and being vocal. You know, I know it's kind of awkward on like these meetings with like multiple people and stuff. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, I'm here.
Yeah, guys, use this time. Go ahead and unmute. He doesn't bite, and if he does, well, you'll live. So.
What's up, Kevin? What's up, Tyler? Kevin, or actually, I was gonna ask Tyler, but since you like people to be vocal, I'll just ask you, Kevin. You know how the requirement is 40 hours for 5 days, right? That's like 8 calls every day. I was thinking, what if I did like 6 days, right, and take like a little less, like 7 calls for 6 days? Is that fine too? Comes out to
yeah, dude.
Hours.
That works, dude. I can answer that because Kevin wasn't really aware, but I set some like requirements for the outbound team, Kevin, and inbound. Like outbound, you have to do at least 500 dials a week. That's higher than what Live Rich was, and you also still have to be dialing more than 40 hours a week, kind of like a normal full-time job. And for inbounds, you have to have your calendar open for at least 40 hours, which equals to 80 appointments. So to answer your question, John Lee, yeah, dude, you can work 6 days and split those hours up. It's just a minimum of you having to work 5 days a week on separate days across 40 hours. I don't want someone to take inbounds on 3 days and have 4 days off, because sure, you could get a lot of inbounds in, but you're going to burn out. It was statistically proven from another sales team we worked with that if you go above 7.5 appointments per day, your productivity and close rate go down by over 40%.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Cause you told me that when we had a meeting, so I was thinking of,
Yeah, dude.
you know,
You
instead
don't
of
want
doing
to.
5 days, I was gonna do 6 days, right, and just take less appointments every day.
Yep, I would do
Yeah.
exactly that, dude.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
And I have a input on that. Like we need to follow up also, right? Like if we have a new scheduled calls like 8, and we also have to make like 2-3 follow-up calls where like that also takes time to follow up with the people like where we talked about, and they want to join. Like they need to follow up with they need like tell us to follow up with
Yep.
them. So on top of that, the follow-up.
Yep, 100%. And guys, like, these are great questions, but I do want to make sure, like, that we take the time to ask anything you want oriented towards Kevin and this opportunity. Because, like, I'm gonna answer all these questions, and like you said, Chris, I will make sure I stay on as long as it takes to make sure, like, you guys know your schedules. Like, I've sat down with you, Chris. Your schedule's perfect now. I'm the king of productivity, I honestly like to say. So I'll make sure you guys know exactly how to not burn out and whatnot. But I do just want to make sure you guys like get the time to really leverage this time that we have with Kevin, just to ask anything and just get to know him. Honestly, that's what I really want to make sure we focus on. But yeah, anyone else who has just anything you want to ask, comment.
I want to ask one question to Kevin.
Shoot,
like as a sales
turn
guy,
on
we
the,
always
camera. Everybody should turn on
yeah.
their
I'm in
cameras.
awkward.
Let's get to know each other. Let's get intimate.
Alrighty, I don't mind getting intimate,
see
but if my
Peter.
internet slows up, I'll cut it off so we don't lose the recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is exciting. This is exciting.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
All the beautiful faces. Rome's at work, so he's the exception. We can't get him fired.
All right.
Can I ask a question actually? And this is
And I think I cut off someone who was asking a question.
Yeah. So Chris, go with your question, and then Peter right after.
Yeah. Sorry.
So like we sales guy, we always love targets, and like I am a sales guy for last 10 years, so I love targets, and I love love to have the vision in front of me. So yeah, we definitely have to have the personal visions, but like can you discuss with me like what's your vision for 2020, where you want to go with your courses, and like how much money, like how much like you want us to close for you like on a monthly basis? Do we going to have a discussion on this each and every month, like where we go each and every month?
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, can you guys all hear me? Because I know that it got worse when we turned our cameras on.
Yeah, you're a bit staticky and your camera is just buggy, but we can hear you out.
All right, cool. So so the answer is for this year, my personal goal is 25 million, and that's between all of my companies. And then we just actually finished or finalized a rough draft today of our overall KPIs, like how much money that we want to generate per month from each segment of my business, whether it's software, courses, SEO, phone, all of that type of stuff. And so by the end of this week, Tyler, if you want to follow up with Samra about the individual phone section, get in sync on, the types of numbers that we have hit in the past. Of course, factoring in like a percentage growth, like a reasonable percentage growth over time. Those
you are cutting out a little bit, Kevin.
Things from a phone perspective. But yeah, so perfect. 25 million is like my goal for everything, and then phone. We're finalizing that, but Tyler, you can work with Samra at some point this week to kind of come up with some realistic numbers that we think we can hit from like an inbound, outbound perspective.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I've been thinking about numbers and looking back, like this is obviously going to be it's a very small team compared to 50 people. So we'll get those numbers. What I've been thinking is we have to really figure out the KPI for inbound, because it's what we've noticed with inbound, and you can ask John Lee, he's been doing inbounds for months. So is Akila, she's been doing it for months. The biggest issue we notice is just the people who just don't have the money, and it just takes like a month or two for them to get the money. That's where like 90% of your sales come from, and those people take time. So I'm thinking I set in stone 50,000 in sales for February. I think that's something that 4 people can achieve. That is very high, but I definitely want to grow to where we were sustaining like 6 like 150K a month is easily something that we should be able to do. That way we always end a year at over $1 million. But on a set week basis, me and Sammer were talking that we'll see between here and February what it is, but we're thinking between 1 to 2 booms a week is what we've noticed tends to be the best. It just depends on the quality of leads for inbound. If we have the mini webinar going, we noticed that people get a lot more sales. When we didn't, we noticed sales went down by like 70%. So it's just a matter of those factors. But 50,000 in sales is what I've set for February that I think that I know we're gonna hit. But that's just the baseline there.
Great.
Yeah, and my expectation would be probably I know like the whole mantra is like under promise, over deliver, but I mean that would be like essentially like one sale, a little over one sale a day. I think we can definitely hit 2 to 3 sales per day for sure, which would be like 90-ish. And I know we've had months with a larger team where we've hit more. And so, I'll leave it up to you, Tyler, to be realistic, but definitely we want to look at past performance and set the bar high.
Yeah. Make sure I put that down in this meeting so that we can discuss that before we hop off.
And also, I'm very excited with this small team, and like when we get more people on the phone, because I'm sure that the refund will be less, because when we get the people on the phone, we qualify them high, and like when we take their commitment out, this is very when they join, they feel overwhelmed because they don't have anyone to talk to. And if we take them on the talk with them on the phone before they join, they definitely can get back to us. So I'm very excited that after we get people on the phone more, we tends to get the lesser refunds.
Yeah.
I'll add to that because that's an excellent point, Chris. With these phone calls, these welcome calls, right? I think it's really important to kind of coach people to understand that, you don't, ideally you want to have an investment for Amazon FBA, but if you're a real entrepreneur, you shouldn't need any money, okay? Because there's people out there who have the money, or they don't have the time and they don't have the knowledge, okay? So Amazon FBA agency is a great way to do that, right? The other thing is that we should be telling people on these calls is that they need to become affiliates of Kevin David. That is just no brainer, easy money, okay? And these people who are like, some people just can't think outside the box. Some people are not the right fit and they'll just never continue, okay? But the ones who do, and especially on these phone calls, they really, really appreciate the value and the advice that, hey, look, you're doing this already, right? You're going to be using the software already. You share your screen while you're doing your research, track your progress, put a link at the bottom for an affiliate link, you're making money while you sleep, right? So it's a massive area of growth for us, and we need to encourage people to think outside the box. And I just had a really good coaching call with, welcome call with a guy, John, who's super pumped, super happy with the support, and was blown away by the fact he didn't know about being an affiliate. So if we can push that, it'd be awesome.
No, those are all really good points. And to support that, Rory, there's dashboards that I have inside of ClickFunnels that show, millions of dollars of affiliate payments paid. Also, like a pot of gold or something. Like, what is that?
I think he's talking about the pot of gold on your green screen, Rory, with Zoom. Yeah, with Zoom, Kevin, you can, I didn't know this, he actually told me, but you can choose your video settings.
That's just my house, man.
Oh, yeah.
you can do the, next to stop video, there's this button that you can choose a virtual background. You can upload and stuff.
Right.
You can just prank people all day.
I love that.
Now we're going to see Kevin in every single meeting, like on the beach. Different settings each and every time. Awesome.
I'm already thinking about it.
Yeah, Peter. I think Peter have some questions for Kevin.
Yeah. Is his bandwidth good?
Yeah,
I
can
mean,
hear you.
Exactly.
Hey, okay, so I just wanted to ask more personally questions to just get to know you, so we can kind of leverage that as we talk about you, right? You spent 18. So you were an accountant, right?
I was.
And you spent 18 months before you achieved the success with Amazon. So at what point were you doing like Amazon and accounting at the same time? And then eventually you reached a point where you're like, hey, I'm quitting my job. I'm doing Amazon full time. Or did you already achieve success with Amazon before you quit?
Well, so the 18 months was how fast I made $10 million. Amazon was, I was successful with Amazon within the first week of selling on it. So that's an important distinction. It took me probably from this time I even ever heard the word Amazon FBA to the time that I was making more than I was making at Facebook was probably about 90 days.
That's the same time frame I tell everyone about Amazon. It's like 90 days, 1 quarter. How fast are you willing to work at it?
I mean, if you get a course, you can do that. You can be successful on Amazon in 30 days.
Easily.
But I was taking my time. I didn't have any mentors. There wasn't any courses that I knew about back then. There wasn't many YouTube videos. It was just it was a different space at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of untouched.
Yeah. So
awesome.
We have I think we people we are from sales. We always have this question from the prospect that how fast I'm going to make some money. Because they are investing their money into it, and somehow they borrow, they manage some money. So what do you think, Kevin? What will be the realistic figure to tell them? We obviously can redirect them, but if we really feel that we have to give them a realistic figure, what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. So basically the answer is this. It depends whether or not you ship by air or by sea. If you ship by sea down payment, it usually takes 15 days to finish a larger order. And then do you guys still hear me?
Yeah, it's just bugging out a little bit.
This is jank.
Try cutting just your camera off.
Can you guys hear me?
That, your audio was perfect. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool. I don't know if it's if I'm moving around my house here. Anyways, so if you ship by sea, it's 15 days to get things manufactured, and then it could be up to 30 days to actually get your stuff there. So it's 45 days plus product research is 60 days if you ship by sea is a real actual answer. A lot of people will lie, and a lot of gurus will say oh, you can make money in 14 days. They're lying. The reason that we're growing the fastest and we're the largest course is because we tell the truth about shit. And then if you ship by air, right, you can get things manufactured in 7 to 14-ish days, and then you can get things literally landed in the USA in 7 days. So you can be literally product research, manufacture, shipping, arriving at Amazon, ready to be sold in 30 days. But you have to bear in mind that shipping by air is more expensive, obviously.
Got it. Yeah, thanks, Kevin.
Sorry, Kevin, on that. Let's say that someone is going to do 3, or I've got 2 questions. So let's say that someone's going to do 3 orders to start with. They're going to buy 500 units each at $3 each. So it's 1,500, so it's 4,500 investment. Okay. Right. But of course they get to spread that freight across all 3, right? So how does Seller.Kai do that? Do they collect from each warehouse, or do 2 of those products get delivered to one warehouse and they collect from the one warehouse, or does it go to Seller.Kai warehouse? How does that work?
Yeah, so sorry, it was just too jank on my phone. I had to switch to my computer. So I heard most of what you said. Got your background. How do I do that? I heard most of what you said, and basically the answer is there's inter-country shipping arrangements. And what I mean by that is like if there's three different places in China and they're all in the same city, like Ningbo or like one of the like big ones. But if they're not, then it doesn't really matter because intercontinental shipping in China is cheap as fuck. It's the same as the USA. You get access to discounted rates inside of Amazon, you know, with their relationship with UPS, it's now ending, but that's not an issue. Any freight forwarder that has any idea what they're doing can just do intercontinental shipping all inside China, aggregate at a single port, right? It doesn't even necessarily have to be at a single manufacturer because it's already cartoned and palletized. And then it's just ready to go from the port in a single shipment, right? You can even share a shipping container to save money.
Yeah. So they'll inspect, collect from the 3 different warehouses, take it all to the same port, and then it will go off.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, cool. That's the first thing. The second thing is that I have a little bit of confusion about, I think I understand it, but when they're trying to get their shipping costs, right? So do they set up a listing just to get a shipping cost, right? The shipping estimate.
So you can't get a shipping estimate itself from Amazon, right? The shipping estimate comes from supplying the dimensions of the shipment, like the volumetric dimensions of the shipment to a freight forwarder, and then they price out the actual shipping costs. So you have to know how many cartons, what the weight is, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But you need to know where those things are going, like which warehouse and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. So a product listing and a shipping plan inside of Amazon are 2 separate things, right? A shipping plan is what you make once you know like how many units you're ordering or whatever. So let's say that I'm ordering like, you know, one second. Let's say I'm ordering like, that's popping. Let's say I'm ordering like a number of units, like 500 or something like that. You usually want to have it in a divisible dimension of like 48 randomly, because 48 is usually the number of units that fits inside a commingled box thingy. I forget what it's actually called on Amazon. So let's say you're ordering 480 units, right? You would literally like plug that into the shipping plan. It like walks you step by step by step. And then it says, okay, 480 units, 48 units per carton. Here's 10 carton labels, right? And like the output of that shipping plan is like 10 little label, like barcode things that you stick on one carton, right? And a carton has 48 products. Each product has a box and a little FNSKU on it individually.
God.
And at the end of the shipping plan, it says, okay, you're shipping all of these cartons to, you know, FT6, which is in fucking Sacramento, and like PA4, which is in Pennsylvania. And it tells you like where to put everything, right? And then people always have the question of like, okay, but like it's telling me to send it to 3 different warehouses. Can I just send it all to one warehouse? And the answer is yes. And it's called an inventory placement fee. An inventory placement fee is a per unit charge to send all of your products to one fulfillment center, and then Amazon sends it themselves to the other 2.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
A guy I was talking to, Joseph, said that he had like a massive quote, but then when he did that inventory placement fee, it was actually cheaper and saved him money.
Yeah, and so the calculation everyone should be performing is it more expensive? You quote out shipping your cartons to the 3 different ones across the country, and then you quote out how much it would cost for the inventory placement. And most of the time it's cheaper for inventory placement, but not always.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, very quick question, Kevin. Like I need 2 people, different students to answer. Like one have a good question about like the guy is from UAE. Okay, so you know that UAE is not listed in Amazon. So like if he open a LLC in his country and start doing business on Amazon, can he able to do that? Like I want to make sure, because like the like opening an LLC in UAE is very, very high, like very like the very high cost. So what do you recommend for him?
Yeah, so basically how it works. Oh, we have someone new. What's up, Joanna? How are you? I hear you. I see you say hey, but you're muted. But anyways.
Yeah, hello. How
Hello.
are you?
How are you? And Akila, I haven't heard from you yet. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. I love that name. Isn't Akila the name of someone in the Jungle Book, or is that like, am I like way off? I feel
It's
like
the same as Aquila in the spelling bee. I don't know anything else.
I swear there's like an Akila in the Jungle Book, but it's been like 20 years since I've watched that because I'm old. All right. So the answer to your question, and I'm actually going to share my screen, Krish, because I think it might be easier to explain. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
So Amazon Seller Central accepted countries. So what you can do here is you can see, and Amazon tells you like what like countries are actually allowed to register. And so you said he was in UAE, right?
Yeah.
And so is there anything else that would be called, like, because I don't think it's on here, is it? No. Yeah, so basically how it works is he can either get a Payoneer account, which is kind of like the way that you circumvent if your country's not on the accepted sellers list. But essentially what this means is you're able to register for it if you have a bank account, right? So like this is kind of like the registry. So if you don't live in one of these countries, you know, you can set up a seller account, go to another country and set it up, or you can just set up a company or whatever in the other country and have like information for it and things like that. But you know, Amazon is smart and they're sneaky, right? So you don't really want to try to trick Amazon that much, or never, to be honest. And so, you know, the best way to do it is there are some ways to set up remote bank accounts, like bank accounts in like the USA when you aren't actually here, but it's definitely not easy, right? The best thing to do is if he has a friend or family member or whatever that lives in one of these countries, have them set it up in their name and then just make him an admin of the account, and then he can manage it as if it's his and everything can be his or whatever, but it would just be set up in an accepted country.
Got it. And like, what do you recommend about the LLC? So if he open an LLC in his home country, can he operate the business in USA on Amazon.com?
Well, I mean, the biggest hurdle is the bank account and the social security number or the EIN, right? Like if you try to open a USA Amazon bank account or Amazon account, they're going to ask you for like normal USA stuff, either a social security number or an employee identification number, which is an EIN, right? There's ways around that too, though. There's always a way around everything. With an EIN, you can register for, there's a couple of states in the US that have lax external registry laws, like Wyoming and Nevada, right? So if you register an LLC in Wyoming, for example, for like $49 or $149, you can then register it on the IRS, get an EIN, which is essentially like your business's social security number, and then you can register it. But the biggest hurdle always is the bank account, right? Because it's really hard to set up a bank account in the USA if you're not physically here. It is possible, but it's just hard.
Yeah, I've seen like many students like who is on from Hong Kong. He actually set it up a bank account in his home country, and he's using that bank account to operate his business. So like new things I'm able to know. And last question, Kevin, what credit card do you actually recommend? Yeah, I'm sure you recommended in the course the Chase credit card. Is that you're recommending to each and every one?
Yeah, so I mean, it depends, right? Everything always depends, unfortunately. But the true answer is the Chase Business Inc. Preferred is the best credit card in the world for me personally, right? Like I could get a American Express Black Card if I wanted to flex on Instagram, but it would just be a stupid ass expense and no benefit to me. You know what I mean? The Chase Inc. Business Preferred gives you 3x points in the most valuable point denomination for up to $150,000 in advertising spend per year. You can actually switch your Amazon PPC from populating and from your seller account balance to actually being paid from a credit card. But the catch is you have to have like a 700 plus credit score to actually qualify for that. So people with no credit history at all, they can get a line of credit. People with okay credit can get a Chase Unlimited, right? And then people with, like a 700-ish or above can apply for the Chase Inc. Business Preferred. There's more rules about, ways to get a credit card with, unsecured businesses where you can get like a wildly high limit, but it's not going to be applicable for most people in the course.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for the answers.
Yep. All right, anything else? You have a question, John Lee? I see you. What's up, man? We need to get you a ring light. It's dark over there.
It's
a ring light.
It's hella dark in here. I would get up to open my windows, but
yeah, I got you a ring light. Give me a second. All There we go.
It's kind of helping.
Yeah.
No, but just going back earlier to it was like because I follow your YouTube, right? I watch your YouTube, and one of your most recent or I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, and you said that because it was like your quitting YouTube video, right? And you said you wanted to focus more on your software company, like moving forward, right? So you know how we're always talking about like we want to do this long term. So in terms of like I know you only like everybody only has 24 hours, right? So if you're like what's the plan on that? If you're focusing more on your software company, like how's the courses and the phone sales team moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, the phone, nothing ever stops, right? Like, the reason that I've been hiring people more full time, like in the USA, which I've almost never done up until now, like I created an 8-figure business with half an employee in the USA, and then I was like, fuck, maybe I should like hire someone else. And then, I started hiring people, and then I started finding really awesome people, like Tyler, like Rory, like Chris, these people that are like, doing more than just certain stuff. Like it's kind of like anything else in life, right? The people who hustle hard and like just give a shit, like it sounds stupid, but giving a shit is the most important thing, like in my opinion. Loyalty and giving a shit. And it's so incredibly rare to find people that actually give a shit. Like it's crazy. People just don't give a shit. I don't know how else to say it. Like, and Tyler and Rory and Chris gave a shit. And so now they're doing more stuff, and they're doing welcome calls. And now Rory's doing, software demonstrations, and Chris is taking welcome calls and handling our refund stuff. Like it's just, being involved, giving a crap, because the thing is, like as people get more successful, they have more and more money and less time. And so the people that can alleviate, stresses and do things like Christian and Rory and Tyler and many other members of my team do, like answering questions in the private group. Like you have to make yourself valuable, and then you make yourself indispensable, and then you get other things, and all of a sudden, Rory's like hired into our fucking software companies now, and like it's just how things happen. Like you just have to care. And so I'm all in. I'm long term. We've grown from nothing to the top 1% of all information marketers and educators in the world. And you guys are now the people that are the internal phone team, and you have all the opportunity in the world to show that you give a shit and to show results. And then who knows, like maybe a year from now you could be running a part of the company. Like that's just how things go in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, thanks for that, man.
Yeah.
By the way, are you really quitting YouTube though?
I'm quitting YouTube in a certain way. So I'm launching a second YouTube channel called More Kevin David that I think you guys are going to like. It's more comedy. It's more like my personality. And then we're doing some reactions here. I'll actually show you guys.
Yeah, I saw you read the mean hater comments and stuff. They asked you a dick pic, bro. I was like, what?
Dude, wasn't that funny? The one guy that was
funny.
He literally said, "I masturbate to your death, but not in a gay way."
Oh my God.
And he said no homo, so
yeah, I was like, oh, all right. Well, he said no homo, so it's all good. This is the video that I'm recording later today. It's called, I don't know if you guys have heard of Extreme Cheapskates, but it's like a really popular TV show in the USA. And I'm gonna do like a reaction to it. And so we're just moving more into like funny stuff rather than just strictly tutorial based stuff. That's when I said I was quitting YouTube, I meant like I can't keep doing $100 a day for the rest of my life. So I was just like getting stressed out and fed up, and then I was like, fuck, like no one's making me do this. The only reason I feel like I'm trapped in this is because these get the most views, right? And so like the most we ever made and the most subscribers we ever got was like the video that we just went hard as fuck on all of those videos I didn't really want to make. And then I was like, well, why is making like an extra, X amount of money actually, it's not changing my life and it's making me stressed out. So I kind of took a step back and I was like, I'm not quitting YouTube ever. YouTube is awesome, but I'm just not going to keep making the same stuff that I don't want to make.
Yeah, so you're switching from like education to entertainment, right?
Entertainment. Yeah. I mean, people watch like the number 1, 2, and 3 reason that people watch YouTube is entertainment, to relax, and how to, like according to Google Think Insights, which we subscribe to, and because we have an internal Google and an internal YouTube rep. And so, I think long term, like if someone loves you for who you are, right? Rather than like a fucking robot that like teaches you Facebook ads, then they're going to be so much more, you know, you don't have to sell anything. If someone loves you, you don't have to sell anything. When it's time, when it's like, you know, you have a new product, people just can't wait. You know what I mean? And so transitioning long-term, I'm going to take a hit on views. I'm going to take a hit on XYZ, but long-term, it's going to be a huge, huge benefit for us. And we're going to start making like hero content. Like, I don't know if you saw the Christmas video we made, but that was like awesome, bro. And that video is starting to go viral. It's getting like 10,000, 5,000, 10,000 views a day or something like that right now, which is awesome. So yeah, we're changing, not quitting.
All right, gotcha.
But I got you on that clickbait though, didn't I?
Let me.
You're getting emotional, man.
You were like, damn, he's quitting. Click. I click it as fast as I could. My computer broke because I clicked it so fast.
Yeah, let me tell you, Kevin, you are getting so a lot of love from the people. Like I was on a call with one of a guy. He applied for a refund, and he actually told me like more than 100 times that he loved Kevin. He loved Kevin, and and after that he I will continue. I will not going to get the refund. He understood that, but he actually told me like more than 100 times. I just could shut my mouth and like listening to him.
Yeah,
he told me that.
I know exactly what you mean, and it's tough, bro, because it's like all these people. Like when you get to a certain point, all these people want to try to tear you down, and they want to try to get views and interest themselves by talking shit about you because you are interesting to people and people know your name. And so all these people now are trying to get clout from saying Kevin David's a scammer, Kevin David's a blah, 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 Kevin David's this or that. So it's just part of the experience, and it sucks because it's like, I'm not like Grant Cardone where I was like serious in that video. Like, I don't love my haters. Like, fuck that. Like, I hate hearing that. I hate seeing that, but it's just part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Akila and Joanna, you guys have any questions? Because I got to get out of here and drop a Q&A in a little bit.
I'm good for now. I'm just like listening in and just taking it all in.
All right, are you from Australia?
Yeah, I'm from Australia, yeah.
Australia, Melbourne. I was actually there last year. I think I went to a really beautiful beach in Melbourne. It started with like a K or something. I forget. It was such a beautiful beach. I remember thinking to myself, I've never seen so many beautiful people. Like the men, the women, like everyone. I was like, what the hell? Is this like a model beach? Like, do I need like a pass or something?
Yeah, I'm actually from Sydney, but I love Melbourne more than Sydney.
I went to Sydney too. Sydney was a little too, I don't know if you guys know this word, but do you know what bougie means?
Yes, yeah.
Sydney's a little bougie. It reminds me of like New York or like LA or something.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. I feel like LA and Sydney are so similar.
Yeah. What is bougie? Rory's asking. Rory, we'll fill you in.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Joanna. Akila, do you have any questions at all?
No, so I don't really have any questions. I'm one of them who have questions afterwards. So
yeah, of course.
yeah,
Like the second I sign off, you'll be like, "Dah."
I got a question for her if that counts.
Yeah. Wait, I can't see who. Oh,
it's
all right.
me.
Yeah, hit me. Oh, Peter, what's up? Sorry, I didn't realize there was a carousel until just now.
Oh, that's not a carousel. That's a mirror.
Oh no, I meant a carousel on Zoom. Your face was hidden. It was the only one.
Oh shoot, man! Come on.
Yeah, you were like on the lonely right, and everyone else was on my screen. That's why you didn't get picked on.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I wanted to ask. Okay, so you wanted to reach up to 25 million, right, this year?
Yeah.
So, what is your 5-year plan? What do you see yourself doing in the future? Then, do you want to reach like a thing or?
I mean, so I could go hard as fuck on this question, but I'll keep it light for you so everyone's not like bored to death. But essentially, my 5-year plan is prioritizing my happiness first and foremost, because 25 million or 50 million is not going to make me any happier for sure. I set financial goals more for my team and my company rather than like me. Like, it's not like I'm going to be any like materially happier or sadder if we hit 25 million. I couldn't care less. As long as I have enough money to travel to Thailand tomorrow morning and no one care or it not affect me in any way, I'm totally happy. Like, I just want to be able to have, one nice car, maybe, if, a scooter, like a nice house, and be able to travel occasionally. And like, other than that, I'm pretty much good. 5 years from now, I could see myself going one of two ways. Really pulling back and like just living life in a much more simple kind of slower way, and somewhere in like Southeast Asia, traveling the rest of the world I haven't seen, really traveling to places I didn't even know I wanted to visit. Or I could see myself really going heavy and like creating a $100 million plus company, opening an office, keeping it entirely private, not taking any funding whatsoever, and doing that with one of our tools. Marketer Magic probably would be the one that would be the most realistic to take to 100 million. But it would take 3 to 5 years to get to that point, and it would be a significant amount of work and commitment. So I'm not too worried about it right now. I'm just kind of trying to like live and be happy.
Thanks.
Of course, man. So I don't know. I'm proud and happy to have you guys. I think it's going to be so awesome. I know phone stuff can be a grind sometimes. But the truth is, like, you guys are really making an impact and a difference on these people's lives. 'Cause people need help, and people want out of, the 9 to 5 and having to deal with asshole bosses. And, I'm going to try as hard as I can to never be like that. And, I haven't up until now. Maybe you could ask like my more full-time employees if I'm an asshole, but hopefully not. Don't ask Tyler though. Just kidding. But yeah, so I mean, I try to be happy and nice and things like that. And I always afford everyone 100% respect. And I'll continue to do that. But, I'm just happy. I'm happy to have an internal team, because now I can know everyone's names. Because like in the last one, it was like there's like 100 freaking people, and I was like, hey guys, like what's up everyone? Like I don't know any of you, but like thanks for making me like a few sales and stuff. So it was just kind of awkward before, but now it's less awkward. I mean, I'm still awkward, but it's less awkward like overall. So it's nice.
Awesome.
Cool, guys. Well, Rome, shout out to you for being the loudest, and really asking questions nonstop. I'm just kidding. I know you're at Subway.
But probably like, I missed so many opportunities.
Rome's literally like whipping up like a spicy Italian right now. Like, I wish I could ask a question. All right, cool, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all, and I'm sure I'll be a lot more involved than I was in the 100-person team, because like it was just a little overwhelming for your boy. But yeah, I appreciate you. If you guys have any questions at all, kind of like funnel them up through like Krish and Tyler and Rory, and then maybe we can even set a meeting where we all kind of touch base. And if I were you guys, I would just kind of keep like a notepad of like questions, just to like increase your skills with regarding the actual technicality of each of the courses, understanding like the basic kind of infrastructure of what we sell, the book, OPE, MAP, the 3 high ticket courses, or mid ticket, depending on how you want to call it, and then Infinity Mastermind, of course, too. Because the thing is, some people want to pay $7 and some people want to pay $25,000. That's just the way it is. That's the way the world works. And if you don't know and have those in your back pocket and can kind of like sniff out and realize who's who, then you're going to miss out, right? Because there's a lot of opportunity, and the way that we're switching things around with the mastermind, right, Tyler, I'm sure that we're going to open up, some additional spots to take mastermind calls at some point, right? And so whoever the highest performing, most consistent people are can take those mastermind calls, and the mastermind calls are the cream of the crop, right? Because these are people that have, 6-figure or higher businesses that want to pay $25,000 for a once a month conversation with me, and you guys can earn, really significant commissions on those as well. So, the only way is up, in my opinion, and all you got to do is just put the work in, and we realize, we recognize, and I promise I'm paying attention.
He really means that too, guys. I don't know how he does it, but he does.
Oh,
all the groups he's
Uncle
always
KD's always watching, y'all. I'm like the creepy Santa Claus. I see you when you're sleeping. I know everything. Trust me. You guys think you're gonna leave the Zoom call right now, but I'll be here. All right, cool, guys. Well, it was nice to talk to you. It was nice to meet everyone. Tyler will let me know the next time we're chatting, and until then,
Good luck. Get to work. Let's change some lives.
100%. Yeah, man.
All right,
Yes,
guys. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Awesome, man.
All right.
See ya.
Thanks.
Kevin.
Have a good one.
Later.